Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because, well, we're basically taking a scalpel to the internet. We are going to dissect the very anatomy of why we click, why we watch, and ultimately, why we buy. If you've ever wondered how the best content marketers seem to literally read your mind, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're unpacking the science of digital persuasion. Let me ask you a direct question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself here. What makes you stop scrolling? You know the exact feeling I'm talking about. You're swiping through your feed, totally on autopilot. Maybe you're just waiting in line for a coffee, and then, boom, something catches your eye. Your thumb just freezes. Why did that specific post grab you when you completely ignored the last 50? I promise you, it is not magic. It's psychology. All right, part one, the brain, the psychology of persuasion. Okay, let's dive into this. Content marketing today isn't just throwing random posts at a wall to see what sticks. It's a highly strategic discipline. Every single color, every word, every image is selected with a specific psychological purpose. We are officially past the era of the megaphone. The days of broadcasting broad, generic messages to the masses, those are completely over. To actually persuade someone in today's crowded digital landscape, you've got to move beyond that generic messaging. You've got to directly address the highly specific, real-world needs of the user. You have to speak to them as an individual who has a problem that needs solving right now. Moving right along to part two, the heart, the power of storytelling. You see, speaking to an individual requires way more than just knowing what they logically want. It requires knowing exactly how they feel. On one side, you have the old way, generic, feature-heavy messaging. But on the other, authentic, emotional storytelling. Brands like Dove didn't just sell soap, they tapped into deep-seated insecurities to champion body positivity. Nike didn't just sell shoes, they sold the emotional triumph over adversity. They tap into real, deeply felt human emotions, rather than just listing off product benefits. And this brilliantly illustrates how taking a real stand with authentic stories is the ultimate key to strengthening brand affinity. You don't just buy a product anymore, you align your personal identity with theirs. And honestly, that kind of loyalty is just incredibly powerful. Which brings us to part three, the machine, AI's emotional intelligence. So we have the brain and we have the heart. Now we need to pivot to the modern technological toolkit. Now, what's really interesting here is how artificial intelligence, which sounds like the exact opposite of emotion, is actually being used to mimic human empathy. We're now seeing AI tools that can generate completely context-aware scenes and scripts that perfectly match a specific brand's tone. The machine isn't just crunching raw data anymore, it is actively adapting to the emotional context of the message. Crazy, right? Let's speed things up for part four, the muscle. 5 key engagement triggers. These are the fast-paced, tactical reflexes that actually capture and hold our attention in a lightning-fast feed. Trigger number 1, attention-grabbing hooks. You have literally a fraction of a second. If you don't snatch the viewer's attention in that very first moment, they're already gone. The hook is the absolute necessity that opens the door for the whole shebang. Number 2 is dynamic visual changes. The human brain is hardwired by evolution to notice movement. Rapid visual shifts, changing camera angles, or pop-up graphics keep the brain stimulated and locked onto the content so your eyes physically cannot look away. Then we've got number 3, burned-in captions. Think about your own habits for a second. How often do you scroll with your phone entirely on silent, right? Having text burned directly onto the screen ensures the message lands perfectly, even when the user is watching completely on mute. Coming in at number 4, emotionally resonant music. Now, when the sound is actually on, strategic audio cues act as an emotional shortcut. The right track completely bypasses the logical brain and tells the viewer's heart exactly what to feel before a single word of dialogue is even spoken. And finally, number 5, strategic hashtagging. This acts as your digital compass. It's exactly how you organize the content and ensure it finds its way to the right community. It's that silent trigger, categorizing all that emotional and psychological work so the algorithm serves it directly to the people who need it most. Let's tie all this together in part 5, the strategy, from awareness to action. So the crucial point is, why use all these rapid-fire tactics? Well, it's all about moving the user through a specific journey to actually solve their problems. Let's see how this builds. Step 1 is generating awareness through those tactical triggers we just talked about. Step 2 is where you provide tangible solutions to the user's real-world problems. And step 3 is where that translates into action and retention. This specific strategy has been proven to massively boost daily active users and overall retention across modern apps. By solving a real problem, you essentially become indispensable. And that leads us beautifully to our final section, Part 6, the soul, the human advantage. We've talked about the psychology of the brain, the storytelling of the heart, the AI machines, and the tactical muscle. But in this highly engineered, algorithm-driven landscape, what actually matters most? Well, in a world of automated content, humanized, expert-led content is the primary differentiator for trust. Think about the beautiful irony of that for a second. Despite all the brilliant AI tools generating context-aware scripts, and despite all those fast-paced psychological triggers we just broke down, authentic human expertise remains the absolute core of building real trust. I want to leave you with a deeply provocative thought today. Whether you are mindlessly scrolling through your feed as a consumer, or you are out there actively designing campaigns as a creator, in a world of automation, where is your human touch? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it changes the way you look at your screen, and I'll catch you next time.